Alright, I figured I'd just quickly record something real quick. It's dark as hell in my room, so yeah, but I need to get this out. So I was watching a YouTube video and, it was talking about um atheists and like how they have nothing to live for and, you know, like and like the atheist was like, "No, I just don't have anything to die for." Which got me thinking and I'm actually kind of terrified of death. Like, terrified of it. Like, I know, like, there's times, at least during the winter time, especially during the winter time, when I get, like, really, really down and out, and, like, I think, like, death is the only way out. But to be completely honest, like, dying is a scary thought. Like, I have my own path, and, like, I believe what I believe, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't know what's actually on the other side. Who knows? Maybe it's like what the Christians say, and I'm going to hell. Maybe it's what the Buddha says, and I'll go to whatever that is, or or anything like that. But or maybe it is what I'm thinking. It is going to be like I'm reincarnated again, or I go to the afterlife to live out in them before coming back again. When time restarts. But honestly, I don't. I just don't know. Like, how do you know? So like, I don't have a confirmed answer. So like, I kind of imagine how do I put this? Like, I imagine dying, like turning off a TV, like an old TV, like how it would make like that weird high pitched noise before just kind of flickering off. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how to explain it. But like, and I just kind of, that's how I imagine death actually being. I don't imagine like a weird white tunnel. I feel like it's just kind of like literally like you just like hit the off button on a TV screen. And I don't know if like maybe then like you get put in another body or what, but I'm gonna do what feels right to me, and if I'm wrong in the end, well, oops, I guess. I don't know. All I know is like what I'm doing feels right for the most part. Like, at least to me, like, don't get me wrong, I'm fucking jealous as hell about for Christians and stuff because they actually have like a place of worship to go to. And I've considered a time or two trying it out again, but like it never really sticks, and anytime I do, then my life goes to shit. And like, I've had so many good experiences with Wicca, and I'm probably just gonna stick with that because like I'm like what, the 8th generation to be a witch or something. I don't remember the exact number, but it's pretty cool. But like, I don't know, it's scary to me. Like, really fucking scary. Because like, if you die, you know, what if there isn't anything afterwards? Like, literally, what if it's just you die and that's it? Like, nothing more, nothing less. Kind of like how, like, how do I put this? Like, do we expect like every cow and chicken to go to heaven? Or, because like cows have brains, we have brains, we all have like kind of the same organs with other animals and stuff, but we don't really, nobody ever talks about where the animals go, like wolves and stuff. And I don't know if that's just like humans being reincarnated into animals or the animals being reincarnated, if it's something like that. But like, I want to know what happens to the animal, like, because in my opinion, I don't think humans are supposed to be here. Because, like, honestly, we kind of just act like an invasive species. Like, we don't really bring anything to the planet or anything. Like, we're kind of destroying it. So, like, is this actually where we came from? Are we like aliens or something? But, anyways, besides the point. And, like, it's kind of strange because, science, we know so much more about like the Milky Way than we do our own oceans. And it's like, we've been up in the stars and like we've caught all these noises and things that are, astonishing and we can't explain. And, but we've never found another planet like Earth. Like, we found planets that we think may hold life, but we don't know. And there really isn't a way to know, I guess. But, yeah, to me, it's scary. And I don't know. Maybe that's why, um, I've never actually gone fully through with it. I've always stopped halfway through or, whatever. Maybe that's why. Maybe even then, something in the back of my mind is telling me, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, what if that really is the end and like you don't get a second chance or you don't it's not like you play a video game and you hit the restart button and you know exactly like, okay, I'm on this life or anything. It's life is complicated and amazing and humans are very smart beings, but at the same time we act like idiots like all the fucking time. And I just don't know what to feel anymore. Like, I believe my religion mostly. Like, there's certain parts that I'm even like, I don't know about that, so I don't know if that means like my religion is changing again or what. Like, I've been Wiccan since I was like 8, and like I tried for a little bit to be Christian, and everything went like to shit. So I don't really think that, but like, I don't know. And like, as far as like being Christian or Lutheran or Catholic or anything like that, like, I can't see how a god could create a human that is attracted to a male, but tell them that it's a sin to be attracted to that male if they have a penis. Like, that doesn't add up to me. Because being part of the LGBTQ community, I can honestly tell you, like, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm dating Star, chances are I would be with a chick right now and loving every minute of it. And granted, I'm with someone who's non-binary like me, but like, does that make any sense? Or like, or the whole entire thing of like, God will never give you anything more than you can handle. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, because otherwise my brother would still be here. Granted, I have a lot of guilt about that, but moving on. And like, I know in a way that there is something out there. I just don't necessarily know if we leave this plane of existence anymore. I think we just kind of wander, and I don't think it's just humans. I think animals and plants and trees all have some form of a spirit to them. Because, yeah, I've been able to see human spirits, or what I assume are human spirits, since I was living in that in what my little sister calls the colorful house, and it was like a horrifying house. That I'll get into in a different story. But like, it's this house, and I've been able to see spirits and shit, but like, I don't just see humans, I see cats, I see dogs. The only ones I don't see is like cows, or chickens, or pigs. But like, anytime I eat meat, I try to do it with respect, because I know, like, this animal gave its life so that I could eat, and is also kind of part of the reason why I'm trying to cut out red meat for a little bit, is because I just feel weird about it. In a way, because until I know, and like, on top of that, like, the way that we treat right now the animals that we consume before they die is so disrespectful that you can kind of just taste the fear in the meat. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't make sense to anybody other than me. But like, when I eat like deer, a certain feeling comes over, and it's like, okay, well, this animal, had a chance to live, and yes, it was scary when it died, but it was quick, and we're using as much of it as we possibly can. But when I eat a cow, it's like different. It's like I eat a cow, and it's like that's like just like a burger or something that we bought from like the store, and it's like there's like kind of like a hint of fear in it, like but a different type of fear, like fear of like an entire life of fear and not just a moment. And like I don't know, to me it saturates the feeling and it makes me honestly feel ill afterwards. I've noticed like red meat makes me feel ill, and I don't know what it is about chickens and fish, but I don't get any feeling with those. Like I feel guilty with chickens just because I know how they're treated, but like it doesn't have that weird sense of fear behind it. And the same with fish. Like fish are just it's fish. I don't it's delicious. Sushi's the best. So to me it's weird. It's like and like pork is different. Like it's weird. It's like I don't know if like pigs are just treated differently than cows. I know that cows are treated like shit before they're slaughtered. But like cows or pigs just they're just kind of like whatever. I don't get any feeling from that. It's just really like with beef that I just get a feeling of dread like afterwards, and it's just like, oh god, what the fuck? And I just don't necessarily know. So I don't know. Oh my god, this rant has gone way off of what it was originally gonna be, but I'm just gonna continue. Um, but no, it's like, how do I put this? Like, there's a certain type of guilt that comes behind consuming anything that is an animal product for me. But with beef and pork, there's an extra layer to it. It's like these animals were mistreated. I know these animals were mistreated. I've seen the videos. I know these evidence. I've seen the evidence. And it's just so guilty. Like, I know this cow did not have a good life, that it was like trapped in a pen with 500 other cows and like forcefully milked before having its head freaking stabbed with a giant goddamn plunger thing. And it's like, I don't know how people work in that situation. Like, I would feel so fucking guilty every single day that I would just be like, I would be so, God, I would probably be dead after a week. And that brings me back to the whole entire being afraid of death thing. It's like, how can we say that that dogs go to heaven when, like, what are the morals for the dogs then? Like, we're expected to all follow these laws, but we say like, at least some people say like, either all dogs go to hell or all dogs go to heaven, depending on whoever you talk to. And I'm like, okay, well then what qualifies a dog to go to heaven? Is it just because it's a dog? Because if you notice, dogs don't really care. They use sex as a dominant thing. It's not like they're like, oh, this is immoral or anything. They're like, you're my bitch now. Get down on the floor. You know what I mean? And it's just so strange to me. And oh my god, I've been talking for 14 minutes already. But like, I don't know. I just want to like, I wish I knew, but I don't. And like, but I guess that's the mystery of life, because like, we're not ever gonna know. I mean, yeah, sure, we may have some people that are like, oh, well, I died and I came back from whatever, but like, that's not often, and it's so varied that, I mean, in my religion, I don't really believe in a heaven or a hell. Well, I kind of believe in heaven in a way, what I believe is like as soon as you have your all of your affairs in order and you've learned all your lessons that you need to learn, you go to, you know, heaven or whatever for a while, and then you come back. You know, when there's another lesson that somebody needs to learn or new, you know, things like as the humans evolve and everything. But how do we actually know that's what happens? Or like, what if none of this is even actually real? Like, what if this is just like nothing is real, and we're just in a computer simulation, and that's why we haven't been able to find more intelligent life like us, and that's why, you know, everything just seems so odd, and there's just so many questions that we cannot answer. And I don't know if science is like one day gonna like come up and be like, oh, we have all the answers now. But I don't see that happen. There's just so many unknown things, and that's what's beautiful and terrifying about this place we call the universe that we live in. It's like there's tens and thousands of galaxies and tens and thousands of stars and just millions of unidentified things or things that we can't explain. And it's like, you know, no wonder this is how religion is a thing. Because when humans are naturally curious, so we try to explain everything. And when we try to explain everything, it doesn't always work out the way that we hope it does. So we end up with like distorted views, like back when what I call the dark ages of magic, when we were like sacrificing children and shit. Like I consider that like the dark age. Like that's obviously not, nobody believes in that anymore. And of course we've evolved to learn like, hey, yeah, the gods are probably looking at us like, what the fuck, whenever we do that shit. Not to make light of children dying. Oh god, this is okay. Anyways, but you know what I mean, right? Like, you guys know what I mean. Like, this isn't something that we can just ignore necessarily. And, you know, I don't think we're ever gonna know necessarily. Like, I would love if we did, but chances are we're not going to. And, like, there's even, like, this idea out there that's, like, of, what is it called? Like, the parallel universe theory, where it's just, like, infinite amounts of different scenarios that we're all going through. So, like, I keep on thinking about, like, oh my god, I wonder what would have and, like, oddly, this brings me comfort. But, like, you know, how do I put this? I wonder what the other me is going through right now. Like, I keep on wondering that, like, with every decision I make in life, I'm like, what is the other me going through? Because I'm like, well, then there's the chances of there being another me out there, in my opinion, is high. And it may not, and I maybe have been, like, born with a penis, and I may have no gender dysphoria or anything like that, but I like to think that just because I make a decision doesn't mean that's how it always is. Like, I like to think that like, in parallel universes, we're all going through these different paths at the same time, so that we all kind of learn together, and then when I die, all of my energy has, like, I've already learned everything, and then I get to go wherever the fuck I'm gonna go. Like, I believe that's what I personally believe is, you know, I'm living one path of an infinite amount, or not an infinite, but like of a variety of different paths that all these other me's are going through, so that when we come together, you know, I don't necessarily know if we like turn into like a star or, you know, what other cliche thing you want to believe. But it's nice to think like, hey, just because I make this decision doesn't necessarily mean like X is gonna happen, or like I'm gonna have to come back because I made X decision. I feel like how it works is there's an infinite amount of me who is living out our lives all at the same time, all on, I don't want to say like the same frequency, but like all on different frequencies. And like we're all making different decisions at every turn. So like if I decided not to have mayo on a sandwich or something, like this is like a very dumb example. Okay, how, or if I like didn't decide to go over to Star's house when we first met, I blew her off. Like what is that me going through? Like what path has that one led? And and there's a high chance that certain me's are dead already because I've already made decisions not to die. I've made decisions where I chose to go get help instead of actually taking my life. So the chances are is maybe we don't die at the same time, but but like that part of us gets stored away. I don't know. This is probably like a way too complicated of thinking, and I should probably go to bed. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm gonna end this here. I'm already at like 21 minutes. I may or may not upload this to YouTube because this is kind of a fun thing. Maybe this will be like a new series or something. Random dark night thoughts. Maybe I'll put some animation or something on it. Anyways, I think I'm waking up my parents. Night, guys.